Hello everyone! So today we're gonna tackle about the global education. So what is global education? Global education isn't the course you need to register for. Instead, it is an overall approach to education that focuses on developing students' understanding of other cultures, history, and geography of different countries, and also the people and the current events faced in various parts of the world. In particular, it focuses on helping students understand these things and how each culture interconnected with each other. And it also encourages students to embrace the diversity around them. So global education is not about learning the food, the flags, festivals, and famous faces of other places. Though those time can certainly be incorporated, is a broader focus on the attitude, values, challenges, similarities, and differences of other cultures and how we are all interdependent with one another. At the end of receiving the global education, the hope is to develop globally competent people who can appreciate those different cultures, embrace other perspectives, and be successful and responsible global citizens.
So, what is the importance of teaching global education to our students? The future success of our students depends on their ability to problem solve, lead, collaborate, and also think critically. With the help of our technology, we can bring the world to our classrooms. We can show them by just one click. So as teachers, what can we do? We can create a global competent students that are able to recognize perspectives, communicate ideas, investigate the world, and they can take actions easily. We can help instill empathy to our students. As the saying by Roger Alberts says that, I believe empathy is the most essential quality of civilization. Twitter, Facebook chats are an easy way to network with teachers from all over the world. We can create a global citizens in our classroom. We teachers should know what we do. The world needs our students, so we can do our best to teach them how to be globally competitive students in different perspectives. The world needs us. The world needs our youths. The world needs our students. So let's do this.
My topic is about the goals of global education. Why do we have these goals of global education? Well, as we know, global education is worldwide. Global education can help us through many ways. That's why we have its goal because in order for this to let others know that these goals have been made so that it can help us. So first, the first goal is that we have expand early childhood care education. Care for children. This is the most important thing that they should have. For caring is special to them. For most, childhood care most important for children because the more care you give them, the more interest they give back. For a child should have your full attention and care so that they won't be far from you. Instead, they will cling back to you. For global education aims a child to be nurtured in his early stage. If we relate global education to this, through global education, there is an expansion of the brain for which it is willing to learn and explore a wide range of information. That's why we have what we call this Expand Early Childhood Care Education, for which this is important because as we grow, our brain are collecting small pieces of ideas one by one, so that if the time goes by that we are already grown up, we are not hardened from what we learned back then. That you are learning from the time that you step up from a higher level. Well, through expanding early childhood care and development, while we're still little young ones, our brain will be trained to get at a high peak. While we're still young, they taught us many things, so that when we grow up, we can recall these things and we are not hardened to our work. So, expanding early childhood care education help us in many ways. And this will help us in many ways. That is number 1. So we will go to number 2. Number 2 is provide free and compulsory primary education for all. Well, there is this law that this law requires that there is a free education for all primary levels. That this aims to give children free education, and it is a compulsory. When we say compulsory, it is really required or implemented by the law. So we have nothing to do with this. In providing free and compulsory education for all, this is one of the goals of global education. Why? Because if a child is free to learn, the more he gains knowledge. And if a child is interested to learn, the more interested he is. Well, if he gain knowledge, that could be better because one day maybe if someday he can learn, he can help other people also. Well, that if you had the freedom to learn, the more better, for which there's something that you would do someday. And that's all for provide free and compulsory primary education for all. Now we go to number 3. Promote learning life skills for young and adult. There are many opportunities that is waiting ahead of us that global education can give, no matter what learning strategy is within or lesson. Through learning any life skills, we can use this, for which in order to have a life and provide something for your family. For example, learning through the internet how to repair gadgets. You can apply this, and malay po natin, lalaki ito at mag-expand. And that's a great opportunity para uunlad ang buhay natin. So, all of these 3 helps you in many ways, for which they can provide things for you, especially global education, for which although we are learning, especially this, well, let's take this COVID-19 virus, for which it affects all the schools. Well, through global learning, we can use our internet. Well, if you search the internet, you can learn there that although we are in house quarantine, we can learn. Like books also. We can use books to learn, for which this can help us. So that's all my report, and the next 3 will be reported by my co-reporter. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Lingayo, for reporting the first 3 goals to achieve global education. Number 4 is the achieving a 50% reduction in levels of adult literacy by 2015. Imagine, only 25% of countries reach this goal. 32% remain very far from it, while globally, the percentage of illiterate adults fell from 18% in 2000 and 14% in 2015. This progress is almost entirely attributed to more educated young people reaching adulthood. Women continue to make up almost 2/3 of the illiterate adult population. One of the most illiterate countries is the sub-Saharan African, wherein the women do not have basic literacy skills. In fulfilling this goal, the government provides free education to increase literacy, because we know that not everyone have the financial stability to support learning. And through that government approach, they slowly increase the literacy rate. Number 5 is achieve gender parity and equality. It's also one main goal of global education. In order to promote gender equality, regardless of where you live, gender equality is fundamental human right that all boys and girls have the freedom to enroll and to choose or get the career what they want. Number 6 is the improve the quality of education and ensure measurable learning outcomes for all. We, the future 21st century teachers, must adapt and possess 21st century skills and way of living in order to provide quality education to our learners. And what important is to know how to deal with diverse learners, to provide what they really need to learn, and connects lessons with their interests, and to understand that every student has a potential.
What does it mean to be a global teacher? A global teacher must possess the skill of being a critical thinker, creative thinker, good communicator, and one of the most important skills that a global teacher must have is the information literacy. We go to critical thinker, wherein critical thinking means making reasoned judgment that are logical and well thought out. It is a way of thinking that you don't simply accept all ideas or arguments you are exposed to, but rather than have an attitude of questioning such arguments or conclusions. It includes the ability of identifying, organizing data, and making and developing conclusions. We go now to creative thinker, wherein when we say creative thinking, it is looking at something in a new way. Or as of what Miss Phoebe Dagson says during our last discussion, it is the very definition of thinking outside the box. It involves lateral thinking, or the ability to perceive patterns that are not obvious. Next, A global teacher must be a good communicator, wherein great communicator have a competent and vast of knowledge in their areas of expertise. They ask questions and they know how to listen to others. They pay attention to what others are saying in order for them to communicate effectively. Lastly, one of the most important skills that a global teacher must have is the information literacy, wherein it involves the ability of find, use, and evaluate information effectively. They know whether the information they are going to teach or use is reliable and authentic, and that's the time they will distribute that information to the students. The characteristic of a global teacher can be categorized into two: a global teacher with character and a global teacher with competence. When we say a global teacher with character, the teacher must be a good model of behavior before he or she will demand the same behavior from the student. When we say a global teacher with competence, the teacher has the ability to do something new in order to meet the standard wherein to teach the learner effectively. A global teacher must have a heart to love those unlovable, to treat those unbearable, and have competence to make learning possible. A global teacher doesn't mean you go out of the country and teach there, but it means to think globally and act locally. When we say think globally and act locally, it simply means be open-minded about learning some issues, cultures, and events around the world and make use of this knowledge to improve yourself, hometown, your local area, or your municipality, and your country. For example, I went to Japan and noticed that the street is very clean wherein people pick their trashes. In return, when I went back in the Philippines, I recycle and do the same what they are doing abroad and try to improve my own community. Again, a global teacher doesn't mean you go out of the country and teach there, but it means think globally and act locally.
As a Filipino teacher, we should engage ourselves to teach in a global world. And now, I'm going to discuss the qualities and characteristics that a teacher should have. First, understand how this world is interconnected. A global teacher must have the qualities and characteristics that possess such as skills and values in understanding how this world is interconnected. Next is, a teacher must familiarize in such as the different kinds of educational system in the world, so that he or she will recognize that the world has a variety of ways of life. Next is, has a vision of the future, sees what the future will be for himself, herself, and for the students. A vision for the future enhances hope and optimism. To clarify, having a vision for the future is identifying and taking steps in fulfilling one's dreams. It goes beyond and is qualitatively different than identifying what wants to be when one grows up. We teachers should help our students to achieve their goals in life because their future depends on us. And also, a teacher must be creative and innovative to the way he or she facilitates and make instruction to his or her students. Another thing is, must understand, respect, and be tolerant of the diversity of the culture. A teacher must not judge his or her students or co-teachers according to their culture, because we have different beliefs, and the only thing that we can do is to understand and accept each other. Must believe and take action for education that will sustain the future. We need to take action responsibly based on the understanding that what we do today can have implications on the lives of people and the planet on the future. Education for sustainable development or ESD, empowers people to change the way they think and work towards a sustainable future. Must be able to facilitate digitally mediated learning. Digitally mediated teaching and learning is an ideal and fun way for educators to extend and enhance the learning that takes place within the context of a traditional formal classroom setting. A teacher must have depth knowledge so that she or he knows and understands the subject that she or he will teach on her students. Next is must possess good communication skills. A good communicator teacher communicates effectively with students and to others. That's why a teacher must have good communication skills to help their students achieve academic success. Last but the most important was must possess the competencies of a professional teacher as embodied in the NCBTS. In order to achieve or possess the competencies of a professional teacher as embodied in the NCBTS, a teacher ought to possess the knowledge, skills, and attitude for him or her to perform his or her task satisfactorily, and also an NCBTS teacher was an effective teacher.
Okay guys, what's up? I'm here to give a conclusion and a connection between global education and a global teacher. Just to give a brief recap, global education is a goal of a united nation wherein every people in the world must understand each other, or they must understand the cultural diversity, the tradition, and so on for each country. Filipino must understand the cultural diversity, the tradition, and other practices of the Muslim. Then Muslim must also understand the way how the Americans live. That is global education. All people in the world must understand each other. And for the global teacher are the one who will implement, or they are knowledgeable on cultural diversity of each country, the tradition, the practices, wherein they are the one who will teach the learners on what that tradition will be. So, let's say that global teachers are very crucial for the global education. They are the implementators, right? So, in conclusion, if the global education are implemented well, or the global teachers are very good in implementing that global education, then every people will understand each other. There will be no more wars. There will be no more queries. And the world will be at peace. Why? Because if you know the cultural diversity of each person or each country, then there will be no queries. There will be no conflict between you and the place. Why? Because you know their practices, right? For example, if you have a friend and you know that he's a high-blood man, then if he get angry because of you, you're not get angry too. Why? Because you know that the person is a high blood, so you will be no more angry to that man. And for the global education or the global teacher, proudly saying that this generation, we are the global educators. That's all, and good day. Thank you.